is all about, and then what tools are available on the Power Platform, which we said consists of the Power Apps, the Power Automate, the Power BI, and the Power Pages. And then we did say that it's a system of low-code app, which gives room for every person interested in tech to be able to create something for themselves without necessarily depending on the traditional app developer. So people that make use of the low-code app are often referred to as the citizens developer, because it gives everybody to translate or transform their business ideas into power apps, into apps that can be used for business solutions. So we explored the different types of apps that are available in the Power Apps. We said there are three major types of apps, but two major ones. We have the Canvas apps, we have the model-driven app, and then we have the Power Pages. The Canvas app is the one that is used for custom costume apps. That is, you have a canvas on which you can then design whatever it is you want to design. Then we have the model-driven app, which is built based on the data that you have on your table. That's the data vars. And the data vars is the one that holds the data for the model-driven app. And so the model-driven app is intuitive, it's responsive, and it's based on the data that you have already on your data vars table. And then the other one is the Power Pages, which is used to build external websites that customers, clients can relate with, and then you can be good with your business. But the one we are looking at here is the Canvas app. That's the one we are dealing with for our own conversation. You're looking at the Canvas app, and then we have been able to explore the studio, the Canvas app studio, looking at the different segments of the Canvas app studio, the tree view, the canvas, the property plane, and all of that. And I remember we closed last week trying to address a particular business use case. So I'll be sharing my screen right away, and then we'll pick it up from there. Please confirm to me that you can see my screen.
Yes, visible.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. So this was a problem statement of the use case we are trying to walk through last week. And quickly, I got some feedback from Mr. Inlade talking about people having some questions as regards some of the things that we said last week, especially creating their own, starting out. So like I said, for you to be able to access the Microsoft Power Platform, and then particularly the Power App, you need a Microsoft account, and not just the personal account. You need a work-related account or a school account. That means probably an account that is already registered with Microsoft as a business account. Now, if you don't have either of that, the alternative route you can take is to sign up for a developer's account, a Microsoft developer's account. And then once you create that account, you have opportunity of using that account for 3 months. If you consistently use that account for development process, say on the Power Apps, the SharePoint, Microsoft 365 or whatever, it is renewed every 3 months. So you have access to that. So that is what you can use to assess the environment where you can carry out the development process. So that being said, So the use case we are trying to provide solution to is for a pet boarding facility that provides a boarding facility and veterinary care practice for clients. So they're having an issue with clients booking or making booking for the facility to be used. So our goal is to create an app that allows customers to submit their booking information for the office to review. The app will enable the capturing of booking requests, and then the office can decide whether to accept or decline the booking. And then the solution we are bringing here is that clients don't have to wait on the line trying to make a call through to the office before they can make their bookings. And then once they make their bookings, they can also get information about whether their booking is successful right on the spot. And then the office or the business also can reach out to them about the decision of whether the booking, the time they are booking for is available, and then that way everybody is fine. So that is the solution we are bringing on board. So let me go back to my PowerApp studio now. So here we are now. I'm here on the PowerApp page. So what we are working on is the pet booking app, our pet booking app. That's what we are working on now. So let me walk us through what we intend to achieve. Please confirm to me that you can still hear me and can see my screen.
Clearly, we can hear you guys here. So,
All right, thank you very much. So what we want to do is what we are trying to do now is to create an app that clients can access. And then on that app, what is going to be the user experience? So the user experience is that from their mobile devices, the client can access the app, then click on the app from this. So we are working on 3 screens. From the home screen, which shows the name of the organization, and then whatever it is we want to put there, we can include there. From the home screen, they will navigate to the form or the booking screen, where they will input their details of whatever information we are requesting from them, the name of the pet, the name of the breed, the different information about the pet, and then information about the owner. And then from that point, they submit the form. And once they submit the form, they get to the success screen. Now, the success screen is where they are told that their booking is successful. And so they get that information right on the spot that their booking is successful. And then from that point, they can log out back to the home screen. So should they have more than one pet that they want to bring to the facility, they may have to do that booking like two times or thereabout, depending on the number of pets they have to bring. So they'll have to do that. And when they do that, the details of that booking is stored on a SharePoint list. Is stored on a SharePoint list where that's like the back end. So the Power App here is like the front end of the app development. Our SharePoint list is like the back end of the app development. So every information that is imputed into the app is stored on the SharePoint, and then the person in the organization also can see what is happening on the app, and then they can also check it from the SharePoint list, and then from there they can respond to whether to accept the booking or to decline the booking. So that is what we are trying to achieve. I remember before we left last week, somebody asked a question that is it possible to make the SharePoint list, the forms, to make them compulsory? And I did say, yes, it's possible. So I will start from there. We'll go back to our SharePoint list. Go back to our SharePoint list. So like I said, when you get on SharePoint, there are a few things you need to do. Number one, you have to create your site. You have to create your site where you want to host your list. So to create the site, you can come to this site. So you create new site. Once you click on this, you follow the prompts. Then you input the name of the site, and then whether it's going to be a communication site or a standard site. So usually you go for the standard site. And once you create the site, you have it here. So this is the site I have created before now. And so this is where I'm hosting my list. So I'll click on this, my practice list, my practice site. So now on my practice site, if I want to create a new list, okay, so let me just quickly run through that now, and then I'll come back to, so if I want to create a new list, I'll come to this place where you have new, I click on the drop down, and then I click on list. And so I can then go on to blank list. I can then go on to blank list. If I have an existing Excel table that I want to bring into SharePoint, I can actually come here, click on from Excel. So that same table that you have information, your data on in Excel, you can actually bring it into SharePoint, and then you can use it to continue whatever it is you want to do. So let's say I'm starting from a blank list. I click on that. And so I'll have to add a name for my list. Let me just put pet. And then I can decide to give a description of what the list is about. And then once I'm satisfied with whatever I have there, I click on create. And then my list is created. My list is created. So now that my list is created, the next thing now is to add the columns that I want to include in that list, because that is what we host or contain the information I am. So this title column is how do you say it now? It's statutory, so to say. It's always there. Every time you try to create a list, is always there. However, you can decide to change this title to something that you want. You can decide to make this column like your primary key. If you're working on something like that, you can decide to make your primary key where you have your IDs, maybe your product ID, your customer ID, or whatever. You can decide to use this column for that. But if you want to add new columns, then you come to this place, add new column. Then here you have the option of choosing what type of column or what type of data you want to put in that column. Is it a text? Is this something that you want to provide options for people to choose from? Is it a date column? You have that. Is it a column where people will be able to type different lines? Is it a column where the identity of people will be captured? You can pick this. Is it a number? Is it a polling data? Yes or no? Do you want to add an hyperlink? Is it currency, location? So different things you can add. So I'm just going to go with text, and then I'll go to next. So to create the column now, I have to come here now and give the column name. Now, usually it's advisable that you put a column name that you can relate with and something that is easily understandable. So I'm just going to put pet name. Just going to put pet name, and then I can then go on. It's a single line of text, and then I can come to this place, and then go on to other things, depending on how I want to customize the column. Require that this column contains information. If I want to make it required, so if I want to make it required, like the other person, like the person said at that time, that if you want the column to not to be empty, that every time anybody wants to do something, that column must contain information. All I just have to do is just to click on this toggle, and then it's that. And then if I want to enforce a unique value, then you can then add all to all content types. If you want to, like even in Excel, you have something we call column validation. If you want to do all of that, depending on what you want, then you can put your formula and all of that, and then once you get it gets saved. So because we have said that this column is required, no one can be able to fill the form or do whatever you want to do without imputing something into this column. So you on and on like that, you can add the column, and then depending on what you want to. So let's say you want this space to be gender. I'm not using this, I'm just setting an example. So first choice, male. Second choice, female. Third choice, prefer not to say. So again, if you want to go on to customize the color a little more, then you can come to more options. Hey, prefer not to stay, enter. Stop. I'm not using column 4. So this is, you have created the choices, and then you can decide to say, do you want it to be a drop-down menu or a radio button? You want to enforce information, require that this color contains information, just click yes, and then you go on to save. So the column is created. So like that, you can keep creating the column. Now, if you want to see, if you want to add information to what you have here, you can just click on this place, new, and then you can then add information to that column. Now look at it now. If you see the pet name, you see the red asterisk on it, showing that it is compulsory. The same thing is also going for gender. So let's assume that I decided to omit the pet name, and then I just want to say save. See, you can't leave this blank. So we have enforced that this column must contain information. So pets, and then save. Voila. So here you have it. Your information is saved on the list, and then on and on and on like that. You can continue to add to the list as you want it. So that's that. But this is the one we worked with last week, the pets booking. So I'm going to come back to this. So all this information here are just my own practice. I'm going to delete them so that we can see how this is populated from our app. So you can see how this is populated from our app. So this is the list we are working with. So if we want to enforce that this column still contain information, we just click on this and go to column settings, and then we edit. So from edit, we come back to this, and then we can go on to more options. And then require that this column contains information, you click yes, and then save. And then we are good to go. So you can do the same for all of the columns if you indeed want them to be compulsory columns. So that is that about our SharePoint. So this is the SharePoint, which is going to start like the back end for what we want to do. So let's go back to our app. So this is the where we are currently. So last week we created the app, the screens. So I ran us through the interface of the Power App screen. So I said here we have the side pane. Here you have the tree view, and this is where you have your canvas. Here you have your ribbon command. You have your formula on this side. This is your control box, and then on this side you have the property pane, and then here on the right side here you have the save and then the play. So let's look at what we have currently. So currently we have 3 screens. This is the home screen. Then you have the booking screen where they're going to input their information, and then lastly we have the success screen. That is where the information is said that they are done or they have been successful in making their appointment. So we're going to be going on to edit some of these things now. So what we intend is that from the booking screen, from the home screen rather, the client is able to navigate to the form screen, the booking screen, where they input their details, and then once they submit, they should come to the success screen. So, but let's see what we have for now. So to confirm how the app is working, you can come to the right side here, and then you click on preview. Either you click on this or you press F5. So here we are looking at the app the way it's going to be. So if you look on this side, the left side, you see how the app is. So you can decide to change the configuration of the app to either a mobile phone or a tablet. But already we have set it to be a mobile phone. So currently, let's see how the app is behaving. So at the moment now, the client is not able to access the form because we have not finished work on it. We have not been complete the work. So that's where I'm going to start from now and then complete our work. So let's do the work we want to do. Please confirm to me that you can still hear me and then we are together.
Yes,
Hello?
we are still together.
All right, thank you very
We can
much.
hear you.
All right, thanks very much. So now, can you remember how we got all of this last week? The names, the picture, and all of this. Can somebody remind us how we got all of this? Anybody that can quickly remind us how we got this? How did we get to this point? Who can remind us?
Yeah, sorry, let me try. After we created the blank page, we moved in text box where we type in the pet care solution and we care for you pet. So we have 2 text box there. Also, we have text box for the making the booking for your pet. We go to the media where we import the logo and um the picture of the pet. So, and we come to the get started where we create a button.
Okay.
We created a button, and I think that is how we were able to come to this page, if I can still remember.
Now, thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's very good. So to get to this point, after you have you come here to your new screen, you click on this, so you decide the type of screen you want to have. So we clicked on a blank screen, and then from the blank screen we went to insert, and then from insert we click on text label. So the text label is what we use to input or type the pet care solution. We use another text label for we care for your pet. We use another text label for make the booking for your pet's care. That's how we did that. And then for the get started, we clicked on button. We selected the button to get this here. And then for the pictures, that's the logo and the picture, we came to media. And then media is here. This is media. So from media here, we went to add media. So we uploaded. So from here, we went to our system where we have the images, and then we uploaded them. And then once they get uploaded, we were able to then include them into our app. And then at the same time, to connect this app to our, okay, so that's, let me go on to the second screen. So the second screen is where you have our form. Now, if you look at what you have here, the information that we have here, it is the same as the information that we have on our SharePoint. The title, the pet's name, pet type, breed, gender, weight, allergies, owner's name, owner email, owner phone number, start date, end date, notes, and that's that. So if you look at this SharePoint list, and then what you have on our form, you will see that the same information that we have on the SharePoint list is what we have on the form. So how did we get that information on the SharePoint list to come to our form? Was that we came here to this place where you have data, and then you click on add data, and then we now search for the data that we want to connect to. If it's an Excel table, you can come around here and then click on Excel. So it has to be an Excel online. It has to be an Excel online, which is either the one that is hosted on your OneDrive or the one that is hosted on your Microsoft 365. And so if it's Excel, if you are using SharePoint, you just click on type SharePoint, and then you have the SharePoint here. And then from here, you click on this, and then you connect to your SharePoint list. And then once you have uploaded it, it comes here. So you notice that the list we are working with is pet booking. That's the list we are working with. And then on our Power Apps again, that list is pet booking. So we have added it. So immediately you add the data to the Power App here, this place is populated. This form is populated with the columns that you created on your SharePoint list. The form is populated with the columns you created on your SharePoint list. So that's how we got there. And then for our third screen, which is our source screen, what we did was to come to new screen, and then we click on this source screen, which we are going to customize as we go on. So that is what we have currently. So we'll just take it one by one now, and then we go on to complete the customization and then the linking of all the screens together to make a functional app. So from this home page, what we want to do is we want the client to be able to click on this, and then from this, the client should navigate to the second screen, which is the form screen. So we click on our button here, and then once you click on your button, look for this, the control pane here, or the control property here. Make sure that if you click this drop down, you see different properties here. But the properties we are looking for is that is on select. That is, when a person click on this, what do we want to happen? So you click once on select. Currently, it is saying false. That is why when we tried to click it the other time, it was not working. So now we need to write just some logic, given the app what we want it to do. So it's a low code. Remember, it's a low code. So we're just writing something simple. So what do we want the clicking of that button? What do we want it to do? We want it to navigate. So there's a function called navigate. So where are we navigating to? So you open the bracket. Where are we navigating to? We are navigating to screen 2. Screen 2 is where we have our form, where they are to include their details. So here we now click on screen 2, and then comma. We can put comma. Then what type of transition do we want? We don't want any transition, so we just click on none, and then we close the bracket. So with this now, if the client click on this, is to go from here to the second screen. So that is what we have done now. Okay, now let's move on to the second screen. Now, on the second screen now, we want to customize this form. We want to change the name of the form. So the first thing we do is we'll come to the property pane on the right side of the studio, and then on the text, here we have text. We change this to booking form. So we change the booking form. We can decide to change the font. We can decide to make it bold. Make it bold. They want to make it, you want to align the text. So you click on centralized. Let's change this font a bit to 30. Okay, good. And then that's about what we want to do. The other things you can also do here, but that's about what we want to do for now. So we have the booking form. Good. Next is we have these two icons, the check-in icon and then the cancel icon. So when the client clicks on this, what do we want to happen? So if you go back to the control panel, you see that it's on select. And then what we are saying is that once you select this, submit form. And what form is it submitting? See, this is the form. If you look at under screen 2, we have edit form 1. Now you can change the name of this form to whatever it is, but once you change the name of this form, you must also change the name of that form on the formula bar. So let's just leave it the way it is. So we're saying submit this form. Then after submitting this form, what do we want to do next? After submitting this form, we want you to navigate. After submitting this form, we want you to navigate to where? The success screen. That's screen 3 now. We want you to navigate to the success screen, screen 3, and then what's the transition? None. And then we close our bracket. Now you notice that before I close the bracket, there was an error here. So this is one of the ways you can use to track what you are doing, to know if what you are doing is going to work or not. Once you see this on your once I develop the app, it shows that there is a problem with your formula or the logic you have written. So you need to check it very well and make sure that everything is perfect. So what is missing here is closing of the brackets. So once I close the bracket, everything is fine. Now let's look at the other one, the cancel bar. So currently it's saying false or select false. So that means if you click on this now, nothing will happen. But we can now change this to true. Change this to true. So that means that once a person clicks this, you cancel. If let's assume the person is trying to fill the form and they made a mistake. So you cancel whatever it is that is written here. So that is that now. So from screen one, when the client clicks this, it comes to screen 2, fills in the details, and once it's done filling the details, it clicks on the check button to submit. And once it submits the form, it also navigates to the third screen, which is the success screen. And here we want to put something on the success screen too. So now I want us to do something. If you look at our first screen, there is a way the background is. It's not completely white. So you're looking at the user interface now, the branding, so to say, or the look of the app. So the form here now is looking white. I don't want it to be white like that. I want it to have the feel, the powdery feel of the home screen. So I'll click on my second screen again, and then I come to the property pane. And then on the property pane, under fill, I click on fill, and then I choose the color so I'm choosing this one. Right. Can you see that the background has been changed a little? So that's that now. So all we are doing now, we are customizing the app, and then we are also adding a bit of branding to the app. If, for example, if you want to change the color of the app, let's say your brand color is orange, and then you want it to have that, so you can, starting from here now, from this button, you can come to the color of the button, then you come here, then let's say we are picking this. Oh, this is not fine. Oh, I don't want this. I don't want this. Yes, I have a color I want to use. So if you have a preferred color and then you have already have the details, you can just come here and then add the code. Put the code for the color. Yeah. So that's it. That's it. So I'm adding branding to the app now to fit into the color of our organization. Say, for example, I'm doing that now. So let's come back to our tree view. That's our screen 1. Now let's go back to screen 2. I want to change this color here, this blue color also to something orange. So I'll come to this place. If you look on our screen 2, each of these here represents something on the screen. So if I click on this one, it's represented a form. This is the label that we have, the booking form. This is the icon accept. This is the icon cancel, and then this is the rectangle bar. So now let me say I want to change the color of that also to the color I just used now. Mhm. So that's how to customize. You can customize your app to the color that you want it to be. So let's now go on to our third screen now, which is the last screen you're working on. So first thing, I want to change the background. I want to change the feel of the background to that powdery feeling. So I'll come back here and then I'll click on this. Yeah, good. Then I want to change this text to something more like what we want. So yeah, I want to say your appointments or your booking is successful. The booking is successful. Good. Okay, so let's change font size to 30. Let's make it bold. Good. I think you can decide to change the color of the font. You can decide to add different things as within fits. I think this is fair enough. This is fair enough. And let me see. Can I change? Let me change the font to blue, not just black. So I have the color I'm using. I want to use with that. Beautiful. Yeah. So now the next thing we want to do is from this success screen, we want the client to be able to log out and then return back to the home screen. Return back to the home screen. So what do? We come to insert and then we add a button. We added the button. So we'll bring our button here. Okay. And then we want to change what's on the button. So from the here you can say sign out. Sign out or log out or whatever it is we want it to be, and then yes. So the next thing is once they click on this, what should happen? So currently now clicking on this it is saying false. So we change that false and then we'll turn it to navigate again. So we're just doing simple logic now, just simple logic to give customers a good experience using the app. So from this third screen, where are we asking the customer to go back to? The fourth screen, that's the home screen, and that's our screen one. So go to screen one, transition none, and then we close our screen, and then there you have it. There you have it. So let's go back to our first screen. Okay, so to be consistent, let's go back here and let's change the color of this. Color of this to our organizational color. Let's change to organizational color. Good. And then maybe you could also change the color of this the circle. So color of the circle also needs to be changed. So what we are doing by this is customizing our app to look like what we want it to be. Good. Then do we leave this as blue or we just make it white? I think it's just Let's make it white. Let's make this white. So color of our font. White is not good. White is not good. White is not good. Okay, let's leave it this way. Let's leave it this way. So here we have it. So let's come back to our home screen. We have our screen 2. We have our screen 3. Now let me come my edit form. Let me be sure. So our edit form, we want to be sure that it's ready to be used. So it's on new. So you can decide to, so it's either you put it on new, that's what you expected, you put it on new so that it can accept new information. If you just wanted to view something, you click on this, you see now that you cannot write into it. You cannot write into it. What you just see is it just display information for us. But we want it to be able to accept new information, new data, so that we put it on new like that. And then once we are done with that, we'll come to this right side and then we click on save. We click on save. Now our work is saved. Now we want to play the app. We want to see how the app is going to operate or how the app is going to work. So to test that, like I said, either press F5 or you click on the preview button here, this app that looks like play. Then yes. So here we have our app on the mobile phone for our client to use. The client has get on the app, and then what should he do? Click on get started. Wow. So go on. Title. We don't want anything from the title. So what's the name of our pet? Pet name. Let's say Kyle. Pet type. Is it a dog or a cat or whatever it is? It's a dog. What's the make of this dog? Let's say German Shepherd. Is anybody on the call that loves pets or that rears dog? Anybody on the call? Gender, male, weight 35 kg. I hope that's okay. I hope that's not too much. Allergies. Does the pet have any allergy that we need that the body facility needs to know? None. What's the name of the owner? Mr. Stone. Okay. What's the owner's email? So we have gotten details about the pet. Now I'm trying to get some information about the owner. What's the owner's email? It's a stone@gmail.com. The owner's phone number 0900123. Okay, that's 909 123 4567. That's not a real number. So dates. So when are you bringing your pet? Okay, I want to bring it on Monday. And then for how long? From Monday to when? I'll be coming back for the pet on Thursday. Okay. And what other information do you want us to know about your pet? Okay, so let's say Carl loves bone and he enjoys playing outdoor. So the client has input all the information that we need about the pets, the details of the pet, and so once the client is done, what's the next thing? Go on to submit the form. So after submitting the form, what should happen? Navigate to the success screen. Your booking is successful. And then what should I do? You cannot leave the client hanging. Then what should client do? Sign out. Then comes back to the home page. So there you have it, the screen. Now, How do we know that what we have done is working? So let's go to our SharePoint list. And then on our SharePoint list, let's refresh the lists. Then good. Can you see? Are we together?
Yes.
Yes, we are with you. All right, thank you. So now on our SharePoint, the details we entered on the app has now been delivered or entered into our SharePoint list: the pet name, the pet type, the breed, the sex, the gender of the pet, the weight, allergies, owner's name, owner's email, phone number, start date, end date, then the notes that we added. So the facility have the information, they can track what is happening, and then it can go on and on like that. Now, there are other things that can be added to our app, and time might not be able to permit us, but I will just point us to where we can get that done. So let's assume that you want to create a screen on the app that will display the information that maybe an admin, it's only the admin now, that's the people in the facility that we're able to see that we want to create a screen that will give us the data of the type of pet that we are having in our facility, what and all of that. We want like a data analysis of what we are doing. We can actually add a new screen. Can actually add a new screen to do that. I'm just going to do that, just point our attention to it. Okay, so let's use a blank screen. So we have a blank screen here now, and then we want to add something to be able to view the analysis. So here we come to media. Under media, okay, sorry. Okay, insert, sorry. Under insert, I beg your pardon, insert, then you have charts. So you have different charts that you can add to your app to display information about your app. So you can connect this with your SharePoint list. You can connect it to your SharePoint list. Alternatively, you can add a Power BI tile. A Power BI tile. Now, for you to be able to use the Power BI tile, whatever information you want to bring on the app must be available on the cloud. Must be available on the cloud. That means on a Power BI service. So what it means that you have to connect your Power BI service to your app. And this is how, if you're conversant with Power BI service, you will probably understand this. So it's a connect your tile to data. So you have your workspace on your Power BI service, you have the dashboard that you have created. You know, a dashboard is different from a report. A dashboard is different. A dashboard is created from a report. A dashboard is like that one page screen that shows all the different, so the different reports you have created about the app, you can then put it on the dashboard. So at a glance, you can see all the details, and then that's how you can connect your Power BI to your app. That is one thing we can also do. And then the other part of the Power Platform that we can also include in our app development is the automation, which is the Power Automate, So you can go from here. If you click on this side, you see the Power Automate. So in your Power Automate now, for Power Automate, what we say is you create a flow. So you can decide to add a flow to your app. You add a flow to your app. So, say for example, let's assume that we want it that when you submit something in our app, then this should happen. Then we can come here. Just look at this one now. Look at this flow here. Click a button in Power Apps to send an email. So if you click on this now, so let's assume that you want it that once you want to automate the response of the app, so that when a client books and submit the form, the client immediately gets an email. The client immediately gets an email of his booking. So you use the Power Automate to achieve that. I don't know why is it taking time. You use the Power Automate to achieve that, and then you configure the flow, and then you add all the details of the email that has been submitted, and then you draft the message that you want each client to receive after submitting. And so with the Power Automate, you can automate the response that you give the client. Every time a client submits a booking on the app. All right, so I will stop here now to entertain questions, and then we'll call it an evening. All right, thank you, everyone. Now we can ask questions. Hello.
We're hearing you.
All right. Thank you so much, Oluwatomisin. That was a wonderful session. All right, so UJ, we can see your hands up, so please go ahead to ask your question.
All right, thank you. On screen 2, that is the form that you created.
Yes.
I didn't join last week, so I'm just maybe you may have explained that last week. I don't know, but
Okay.
I noticed that the submit button and the cancel button, they are fixed at the top of the screen.
Okay.
The app to be user friendly,
Okay.
it would have been nice. I mean, for nice customer, for nice user experience, it would have been nice if those buttons were at the bottom. So that as soon as you don't have to scroll up again, they can just submit straight up. Is there any way to bring those buttons to the bottom?
Yes, we can. You can actually do that.
Okay.
You can actually move the button. The button is not. You can move it,
it's not
and then
static.
It's not static.
Okay.
You can move the button. Well, what will be that you have to be able to you have to adjust your forms to create room for the button to be under. That's all you just need to do.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, Tunde, please, you have your hand raised. Please go ahead to ask your question.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, boss. Thank you for the session. Oh, I think the essence of this, like what we just did today, the form we made, everything. The essence is for us, I mean, for that businessman, that pet man to be able to gather data, right?
Yes.
So now, if I gather this data, hmm, you show me something just now that I can connect it with a Power BI solution. I will
Yes.
go and I'll go and practice that. So after this app is made completely, and I want to share this with someone, maybe my customer, I want to put it on my profile, I want to put it on anywhere, I want to put it for my customers to see. How can I generate a link that I can put on any platform I want to put it?
Okay, so once you are done with the app, and then now the thing about the Power App is that it's not like the regular app that you see on the Play Store or the iOS App Store. Power App is more like an organizational app that can be used within an organization. But yes, if your clients, if you have clients that you want them to use it, you can share the details of the app with the client. And so that means you are giving them access to your environment. You are giving them access to your Microsoft environment to be able to access the app. So what you need to do is you come to this point, you can see on here you have share. So now we are trying to access, get to the place where we get the information about the app. Fine. So this is the app now, and this is the details about the app. So if I want a colleague, if I want to share this app with a colleague via email, I can enter the email message and then send the email of the app to send an email invitation to new users. So I can send an email about the app, and then once they get the email, they have access to the app. Or you can decide to go this route. This is the web link to the app. So I can decide to copy this link, and then share this link with whoever I want the person to access the app. Or I can decide to go through the route of a QR code. So I can share this QR code with them. So from this point again, you can click on share. Okay, so this is where you have share your pet app. So you can then add the people that you want them to have access to the app. You can add their names, their email address, and then they get the message, and then through the link or the QR code, they can access the app. I hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
All right, any more questions?
Yes, my hand's up.
Okay, please go ahead. I guess it didn't recognize that your hands
Okay,
are up.
it's still on this sharing of the app to
Okay.
end users eventually. Is it possible for those sharing methods, either via the link or the QR code, can they be placed on a website of an organization, for instance, so that from the website directly it is clicked and or scanned, and it takes the end user to this Power App? Is it possible?
Okay, so yeah, let me emphasize something again. The will I say a limitation sort of the Power App, like I said, that is not an app that you can share on it like the Google Play Store or the iOS App Store, at least for now. The design and the approach to the use of the Power App is for organizational effectiveness and creating business solutions. But however, anyone that you are sharing the link, the QR code with, that means you are giving that person access to be that person will be able to access your environment. So this is my environment now that I'm using, and then that means the person will to access your environment. The person will need a Microsoft license to be able to access the app. The person will need a Microsoft license to be able to access the app. So that is just the limitation, I would say, about the Power App at the moment. We don't know what can happen in another 2-3 months. Microsoft can decide to change that, but as of now, that is how it is.
I think it's a very huge limitation then.
It depends on what you can say that's a limitation, but there are organizations that are actually deploying the Microsoft Power App for their organizational effectiveness. So, say for example, now maybe before now, an organization, for you to take a leave, you need to fill a form, go from your table to meet your direct boss. From direct boss, you get to the HR and all of that. But now you can design a costume Power App for the organization, where from the comfort of your office you can sign up, submit your leave application form, and then you get the approval from one level to other level, and then you get a confirmation that your leave has been approved. Currently, actually, we are working on. I'm working with a team on an app for an organization that helps them to track their inventory. So this one now is between the production unit, the store, and then the logistics. So the production unit, that's the factory now. They produce a product, they bring it to the store. The store has to keep information of how many the production brings in. Then the logistics now have to plan how to move the materials from the store to the customer. So before now, all of those things had to be manual in writing in the book. But now we are designing an app for them that within the organization, from the factory to the inventory unit, the store unit, and then the logistics, they can track what is happening. They can track how much materials they have, compare it with their requests, customer requests, and then that way they know, okay, how much of the products the factory should produce more. So something like that. So there are different use cases where this app can be deployed for business solutions. Any other question?
It's clear enough.
All right, thank you very much. Any other question?
Sorry, I still want to talk on that Power BI projection. Is it possible to connect Power BI directly from the data we organize through the SharePoint?
In SharePoint?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so. So if you come to the SharePoint, so I'm back on my SharePoint now. If you come under this integrate, so here you have integrate, Power Apps, Power Automate, Power BI. So now let me demonstrate something very interesting. Let's assume that, when we started this app production, we started from blank. But let's assume you want to start your app from your SharePoint directly. So I have this data on my SharePoint that I've created, and I want to use this information here to create a new app. So I can come under here, integrate. So I said Power Apps, create an app. So I'm asking Microsoft, the Power App, the SharePoint to connect with the Power Apps to create an app for me. So it's asking me what should be the name of the app. So let's say pet booking. Okay, so I'm saying create. So it goes on to Power Apps, and then it starts to work based on the information I have provided. So when you go this route, the Power Apps will create for you directly a three-screen app. Which is going to be your detail app, your edit, your detail screen, your detail screen, sorry, your browse screen, your detail screen, and your edit screen. You are going to see it very shortly. Good. So this is an app that has been created directly from the SharePoint. So we have a three-screen app now that has been created. So on this first place, we have the browse screen, we have the details screen, and then we have the edit screen. So this time around now, if this is what we have want to see this information, clicking on this now, okay, let me play it. Let me play it the way it is now. So if I click on this now, it shows me the details. It shows me the details, but okay, I'm going to come to this later. It shows me the details. If I want to edit what is here, I'll click on this. It brings me to the edit screen where I can edit. If I want to cancel, I cancel this. If I want to go back to my browse screen here, if I want to add a new detail, so let's create a new item. So yeah, okay, let's go on to say Leo, pet type, still the dog. Breed, I just put it as German anyway. I'm not a conversant with dogs like that. Gender, female. Weight, 35 still. Allergies, none. Owner, Mr. Bright. Now, one thing you notice here, which I didn't even go through that, is that the app is not displaying all the information that we have on our SharePoint list, but that can be corrected. So let's just click submit. Can you see now? It has added the new item that we added to it. So now, if you want to sort alphabetically, if I click on this now, it can help me sort alphabetically, or if I want to refresh, I refresh, and then like that. So this is what can happen also. And so after you have this, you can then go on with the other customization. Let's say you want to add the home screen where the client will first come into. So to do that, you come to add new screen. And then I want to make this screen to go to the top. Okay, so I have the screen here now. So let me just add a button to take it to the screen too. So let me add a button. So this button, what I want the button to do, I want it to, on select of this button, I want it to navigate to where now? I want it to navigate to the browse screen. A transition, none. And so let's play it again. So from this, now this is the home screen now Once I click on this, it brings me to this part. So yes, you can. So what am I demonstrating is that from your SharePoint, can you see? It has added that information we just entered. From your SharePoint, you can actually go straight to Power Apps, and then from SharePoint, you can go to Power BI, visualize the list. But this time around, it's not going to go to share PowerPoint desktop. It's going to Power BI service, which is the online service, the online version of the service. So it said I should create a report. Yes. So it's trying to create a report for me based on the information that I have on my form. Based on the information that I have on my form. That is what it's trying to do now. My report is ready. Can you see? So Power BI has just created something for me based on information it has here. So we have phone number, we have owner email, we have all of this. So you can add this back to you can connect this, use this to create a dashboard, and then you can connect it back to your Power Apps. I hope that answers your question.
Very well, thank you. But can we share this particular? Sorry for my question, is too much. Is it possible to share this Power BI to someone in your organization as
Yes. You can see. If you look here now, it says publish to the list. So you can add to the list. You can adjust. No, this is what Power BI created by itself. I can adjust this and create my own custom visualization of the data that I have. So that's all we have here.
Thank you.
Okay, any other question before we wrap up?
All right. So thank you so much, Mr. Oluwatomisin. Really appreciate you. That was an insightful session. You've been with us since last week, and we really, really appreciate you. Thank you, everyone, as well, for your questions. Right now, I'll be handing over to the president in person of Emeka. Hello.
Hello, I can hear you. I can see you.
All right. So I said thank you so much for your time and for teaching us how to create custom Power Apps. We found your session really, really insightful. We've had people gotten clarity to some of the gray areas, and we are really grateful. So we, on behalf of Everything on Data, we thank you and we say, may God bless you. So right now, I'll be handing over to the president in person of Emeka. I don't know if you can hear me, Emeka, just so that you give us the closeout speech.
Hello, can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, all right. So thank you so much, Bukola. Thank you so much, Tomisin, for the very insightful session. It's been a wonderful one. So guys, our next session will be next month. So just stay tuned. We'll roll out updates as soon as we can. So just keying into our sessions, and believe this year will be. We'll have so much more insightful sessions for everyone. Thank you so much. Let's all have a very good evening and a fruitful week ahead. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bye, everyone.
Thank you for having me. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Emeka hope say they no beat your team this night.
To say why? We won, don't worry.